Most golfers think they need 300-yard drives, perfect iron shots, or even a flop shot to be good at this game. But that's completely wrong. Matter of fact, you just need 3 things, and you'll probably beat most of the golfers you're going up against. You don't need 10 shots. You don't need a full swing overhaul. You just need 3 shots. If you dial these in, you'll instantly start shooting lower scores and become a lot more of a connected golfer than you are right now. Golf isn't a game of perfect shots. It's a game of eliminating big mistakes. You're only as good as your biggest miss. And I believe there's 3 specific shots that when you dial those in, you can really start to eliminate big mistakes throughout a round. Those 3 shots are a stock tee shot off the tee, a 3/4 swing, and a putt inside of 8 feet. Master those and you'll be a pretty connected golfer. My name's Leo Herrera, also known as the Connected Golfer, and I've been golfing my entire life. I started competing when I was 7 years old. I was a top 20 junior golfer in the country, competing week in and week out. I played Division I golf. I won a USGA event in 2021 at Chambers Bay. I turned professional and became the Connected Golfer because I'm inspired to share the experience, the knowledge, and the wisdom that I've gotten from this beautiful game of golf and bring it back to the people. In today's video, we're gonna break down 3 shots that I've gathered along my career of playing that will really build a solid foundation for anyone's game. But I want you to know that I've been out in the battlefield. I've really experienced golf at a high level. I've been around a lot of elite talent, and I've seen what they're doing that most golfers are not. I'm here to share that wisdom back and help a lot more golfers stay connected to the best version of themselves. Before we get started here, huge shout out to Dyer Park. This is where the first tee of Palm Beaches resides. I'm really grateful they gave me the opportunity to film out here. It's a great facility. If your son or daughter is getting into the game of golf and is in the Palm Beach area, hit them up. That's how I got started down in Miami. The first 4 tournaments I ever played were with the first tee. So an amazing way to get your son or daughter introduced to the game of golf and connected to the game of golf. They teach amazing values and they really prioritize what matters most. At the end of the day, it's the character, it's the human being. So I owe a lot to the first tee in general, and very thankful for the first tee Palm Beaches for having me out here today at Dyer Park. And if you want to learn how to work with me, just click the link below, book a call. Happy to have a conversation with you to see where you're at and see if it's a good fit to work together. So let's get into the video now. I got an 8-foot putt here. I believe this is a shot every golfer needs in order to be a good golfer. Anything inside of 8 feet is something you're gonna have a lot throughout a round of golf. So being able to understand where you're aiming and to be able to hit it where you're aiming is the key. You know, an 8-foot putt, it's a lot more tangible. Even if you're just getting started, it's something anyone can really do. Anyone can hit a putt. Now, it's just a matter of understanding how to go about it. My philosophy is all about understanding how to set up to it properly in order to be stable, centered, and balanced throughout a stroke, because that's what actually produces the ball to go where you want it to go. The stroke is pretty simple. It's just a pendulum rocking. But if you don't set up properly, you're gonna add variations to it that are unnecessary and causes inconsistency. Now, you know, my shot is all about 8 feet and in, so I'm not just gonna hit 8-footers, I can hit a 5-footer. I can hit a 2-footer. And I would actually suggest to start closer and go further. I always try to hit as many 2-foot putts before a round of golf as I possibly can. Why? Because it gets the ball in the bottom of the cup. And I get used to seeing the ball going in. That's a great drill to do before a round, by the way. But when it comes to the structure of this shot, right? Because we understand why it's so important. You're gonna have a lot of putts inside of 8 feet throughout a round, so you might as well figure it out now. And this is how I would figure it out if I were you and I was trying to figure it out. I feel like the setup is the most important part. So the best way that I go about it is I'll extend my arms out in front of me and I'll pull the butt end of the club towards my chest, and I have my elbows kind of out. And then the next phase is to pull my elbows into the side of my body. So this creates connection right here. I'm connected. But all I did was I extended the arms out, I pulled the club in, and then I put my elbows into my sides. Then from there, I can hinge, and I'm in a good, solid setup position for putting. Now I would set up normally here, try to get to a good position, extend my arms out, pull them in, elbows in, and then you're pulling back, like if you're trying to close a car door with your behind. You should feel a slight stretch in the hamstrings, and then you slightly flex the knees and pull the scapula up. That's a recipe for stability right there. All you need to do is rock the shoulders. That's something that I practice a lot to be able to activate the right pressure points in my body to feel stable throughout a putt. So that when I'm actually on the golf course, I could just go up to it and already activate those points properly without needing to think about it. I could just see the line, be the line. First take. But it works, guys. If you're able to really create that stability in the setup, make sure, a lot of people that I see, we go like this when we go down. And now we have no stability. We don't want to go like this either and look rigid. We want to find that middle ground where you're hinging, flexing, and pulling. Pull that scapula back, feel tall, because you want to just let the putter head rock. That's the key with putting. Let it rock and it'll be smooth. A great thing that you should buy to get good at putting is a chalk line. A chalk line is something you can draw on the green, predominantly on a straight putt. You put your putter on it right behind, and you can see your putter line aligned with the line of the chalk line. So it's training you to line up your putter head properly. It's also training you to trace a line from the ball to the hole, from the hole to the ball, straight, not crooked like a lot of us sometimes do if we don't train it. So that honestly will get you pretty dialed in with putts inside of 8 feet. And it's a very important shot to have if you want to be a good golfer, because you're going to have it a lot. So now let's talk about the 3/4 shot. An issue I see with so many golfers and why they bring so many big numbers into play when they're playing is they're trying to hit 100% every shot they hit. And it's not sustainable. It's not the way to play controlled golf. If you want to shoot lower scores, you got to control your golf ball. And this is something I learned at a young age. I used to have a very long swing and I would fire 100% at every shot I hit. And there would be times where I timed it up well and I was striping it. But there would be times where I couldn't even find the planet. And it was demoralizing until I developed the 3/4 shot. This is a shot where you're going through the swing with the same level of intensity. You're not slowing down for it. You're just shortening up the swing. So that's a big misconception I see with a lot of people when I tell them to hit a 3/4 shot. They swing like softer. And that's not really the goal of a 3/4 shot. You want to accelerate through in the 3/4 shot. You just got to shorten up the arc. So I feel like my arms go up to my shoulders and then through to my shoulders. So that I kind of feel what I would consider the L swing. This is one thing I learned from Jim McLean. Jim McLean, an amazing golf instructor, one of the best of all time, taught me for 5 years. And we worked on this 3/4 shot a lot. The 3/4 shot is L to L. And that would really help me feel connected as I'm going through. And the thing about it is when you really develop that 3/4 swing, you don't really want to swing it hard, like longer than that. You still want to go through it with intensity, but you have like no real desire to get, longer with your swing. And that's what helped me a lot, because I had a really, really long swing, almost John Daly-esque. And I had to learn how to shorten it. So I felt like I was hitting 3/4 swings all the time. But as soon as I started feeling it, I really started to get more connected. I started to consistently compress the ball. And I started to control the golf ball when I'm out there. It curves less when you're shorter in the swing as well. So here's what it looks like in action. 3/4 shot. This is a 9-iron. As you can see, the body stays connected. The arms stay connected to the body, and the compression is pretty consistent. Now, if you're struggling with this, if this is something that's hard for you to do because you have a long swing and you're used to kind of waiting for the club head to get long so it can go through, or you have too short of a swing and you're like short and quick with it, and you struggle to understand the arc, I definitely suggest to do the stop and go drill. This is also something I worked out a lot with Jim McLean, is we would get to that backswing position that we would desire, in this case a 3/4 swing, and then from here I would just make impact and go through to where I wanted to. This is how it looks. That really dialed in my movement. You do that drill on the range for 30 minutes, you're extremely connected after those 30 minutes. The problem is not enough people are deliberate enough with it. They stop, but they're like Yankee with it and they can't wait to go through, and then we get lost on how to transition through. When you get to the top, all that's firing is this part of your body. The rest just follows. If your chest and your abs move through the ball, the arms and the hands will follow and fall into place where they need to. The thing is, we all get a little bit handsy from the top because we don't know how to transition our body, and that's why this drill is so important. It's really important for you to master this drill as a golfer if you want to control the ball and develop that solid 3/4 swing. So I was slightly behind the ball, but still pretty dead straight shot and connected through the impact zone with my body. Now, the more and more I would do that drill, the more awareness I would build in the top of my swing, and more awareness I would build in how to transition from there to get through to the ball. Nice. And it gave me a lot of confidence on my ball striking. So if you're ever really struggling with your ball striking, go back to 3/4 swings. They're magic. Yeah. And usually my ball flight was a little bit of a cut in this shot, which is awesome. It stops on a dime. You can talk to a cut, you can't talk to a hook. So it's a golf shot I definitely suggest all golfers having if they want to be good at golf. Because let's be honest, I know you're gonna hit that full shot nice here and there, but how many times is it going way offline and causing you to make big numbers on the course? If you had a 3/4 swing that you could trust and you're confident with, you're gonna narrow down your dispersion and you're gonna eliminate those big numbers a lot more from your card. So that 3/4 swing is huge. Let me show you a training aid you could use as well. So this is the boomerang from Ledbetter Golf Academy. I slip it under my left armpit. You can also use a glove if you don't have one, but I definitely suggest going in there and checking these out. You go in here, and this feeling of keeping this squeezed really keeps you connected through the hitting area on a 3/4 shot. Because a lot of us, when we start really developing this 3/4 swing, struggle with sequencing and actually keeping our arms connected because we're used to using our hands to get to where we need to get to. As soon as we shorten it up, we got to use the body. So that's just amazing contact, penetrated ball flight, and I feel the connection in my body through the swing. I don't want to make a longer swing. Like, this feels great, and it's a shot I know I could pull off under pressure when I need to. The better you get at this shot, the more confident of a golfer you're going to be, the more consistent you're going to compress the ball, and you're just going to control that thing out there so you can shoot lower scores. So now let's talk about the third shot you need to be a good golfer. You need a stock shot off the tee. What does that mean? Number one, it means it's curving one direction. And number two, you know that it's curving that one direction. If you see the best players in the world hit tee shots, they always go for that one shot, that one curve that they've hit over and over and over again. Unless it's a crazy scenario where they need to hit a different ball flight, they'll always go back to their stock shot shape off the tee. And it helps them hit more fairways. There's a study that came out with Decade Golf, which is a platform where you can track your stats on. On the PGA Tour, golfers that tried to shape the ball in two different directions were significantly worse at putting the ball closer to the hole or in play off the tee. That means by curving it one direction, you have more control of your golf ball and where it's going. And if you think about it, that makes sense. You know, if you only hit one curve and you train that curve every time, and you know you get to a point where you know it's just gonna curve that one way. Now it's just a matter of how much it's gonna curve, not whether or not if. And that really empowers you to be a great golfer. So I'll talk about my stock shot and why I've developed this specific type of stock shot. My stock shot is a baby cut. I cut it about 5 to 10 yards every time. Depending on the scenario that I'm in, I either go high tee or low tee. I'll go high tee if it's a pretty open fairway and I got really not much to worry about. High tee, let it launch. If it's a tighter fairway, I'll lower my tee, but still hit the same ball flight both times. That's really the only difference. When I lower my tee, the ball goes a little bit lower and it gets to the ground quicker, gets through the wind or gets through anything in the way quicker, which I have found to be very reliable when I'm in an uncomfortable tee shot. I need to hit the fairway in. Off the tee, on a wide open tee shot, I'm teeing it up, regular height, if not higher than regular height, and going after it, but I'm still hitting that 5 to 10 yard cut every time. So when I'm setting up to tee boxes, I'm setting up for that 5 to 10 yard cut. When I'm picking lines, I'm setting up that line for that cut. So here's how it looks in action right here. So you can take a look. Aim a little bit left, see the shot, and make sure you start it on line. That's the key. There it is. That was like a 5 yard cut. You want to make sure that you have two things going for you when you're developing a stock shot. Number one, you got to know where the ball is going to start. If you're going to hit a cut, you got to start it left. You got to get good at understanding how to start the ball left, and then you got to be able to curve it the right direction. So all of that has to do with your club path and your club face. Where your club face is pointing at impact is where the ball is going to start. And where the club path is going is how the ball is going to curve. So if I want this ball to start left and curve to the right, I'm gonna need my face to come in left of the target and my path to come in from the outside to the inside. And that's gonna produce a left to right ball flight. Now, here's how I think about it so I don't confuse myself every time, because it could feel weird to do a lot of things that you don't need to do. I actually feel the same takeaway. So I'll get to the top, same takeaway as any swing that I would make. And then I'd really try to feel like as I'm coming through, I exit my body to the left. When I exit my body, and I'm not trying to leave the face open like this to hit the cut. I'm actually trying to not shut my face, but like keep it square as much as possible. Because if it's square and I exit left, that ball should start left and curve to the right. So there's nothing I'm really changing in the backswing or anything. I do the same thing. And then just finish left. There's another little 3 yard cut. I've been able to really dominate this stock shot in my game, and it's helped me tremendously. And like I said in the previous one, if you're struggling to understand the feel of how to get through the ball properly, stop the swing. I did this drill a lot as well with the driver, and it really helped me stay more connected. But I'd stop at the top and turn my body through in a way that's going to create that curve. Build that muscle memory. That's what you're doing. When you're stopping, you're creating tension in the body, but the brain is memorizing that position better. And you're giving yourself time to understand what you need to do to transition and go through the ball. That's a moment in the swing that's very quick for a lot of people. So as soon as you get that completely stopped, it sequences you again. So yeah, that's the stock shot right there. I mean, if you have a consistent ball flight you're hitting off the tee, you're gonna be a good golfer. As long as you play the ball flight and you trust it. And that's why we practice, right? But there it is, guys. Those are the 3 shots that I developed to become a good golfer. And that's the 3 shots I would suggest for you to master, to get your game to the next level, to beat your buddies, to win a golf tournament, whatever it is, the journey that you're on. Embrace these 3, because this is where the game is at. If you have this, there's no reason why you shouldn't start lowering your scores drastically and start enjoying this game much better. So I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with anybody you feel like really needs to hear this. Doesn't matter if they're getting started with the game or they're a seasoned veteran. Some of the stuff, it's useful to get reminded of. So appreciate you guys. And like I said, just book a call with me below if you want to understand how to work with me on a personal level. More than happy to help, here to serve, and here to see more connected golfers. I'll see you in the next video. Stay connected.